knockout, here is the former WBC lightweight champion of the world. He is the Fighting Pride.
The atmosphere was electric as Ryan Garcia made his long-awaited return to the ring after a controversial year-long suspension, with the crowd eagerly anticipating his next move. Known for his explosive hand speed and electrifying boxing style, Garcia was stepping into the ring to fight in an exhibition match against former kickboxing champion Rukiya Anpo. The highly anticipated fight took place on December 30th, 2024 at the iconic Saitama Super Arena in Tokyo, Japan, and was broadcast globally on PPV for $49.99. Despite still serving his suspension, which would end in April 2025, Garcia was granted permission to participate in this exhibition under Japan's unique boxing regulations. Ryan Garcia's career had been in limbo after a controversial victory over Devin Haney in April 2023, which led to his suspension from boxing. He had been forced to sit on the sidelines, but his return was one of the most talked about events in the sport. Fans had long speculated about when he would return to the ring, and when the announcement came about his match against Rukiya Anpo, the hype quickly began to build. While some initially voiced their disinterest in the fight on social media, those opinions were quickly silenced when fight night arrived, and Garcia delivered an incredible performance. Garcia's opponent, Rukiya Anpo, was a former kickboxing champion with an unorthodox style that had gained him respect in combat sports. As the two fighters prepared to square off, tensions were high. The press conference leading up to the event had been fiery, with Garcia and Anpo exchanging harsh words and each promising to knock the other out. Garcia, still bitter over his suspension, was outspoken in his disdain for his opponent, calling out Anpo for his lack of professionalism and his perceived disrespect for the sport. The animosity between the two men had begun months earlier when they first officially announced their fight, and it only intensified in the build-up to the bout. Garcia, clearly fueled by frustration over his ban, took every opportunity to taunt Anpo. He mocked Anpo for missing weight and drinking beer while training, calling it a disgrace to the sport of boxing. "I beat a pound-for-pound champion," Garcia said, referring to his victory over Haney, "and you're not even in the same league. This isn't Hollywood, and this fight will not be fake. You're going to get knocked out in front of the world." Despite Garcia's bravado, Anpo remained composed. The Japanese fighter responded with equal intensity, firing back at Garcia's trash talk. "Ryan likes to talk but doesn't deliver," Anpo said. "He calls himself a king, but he lacks honor and sportsmanship. In Japan, we fight for legacy, not fame. I will bring the samurai spirit to the ring and show him where he truly belongs. His arrogance will be his downfall." With emotions running high, the stage was set for an unforgettable clash between the two fighters. The Saitama Super Arena was packed to capacity, with fans eagerly awaiting the showdown. The atmosphere inside the arena was electric as both fighters made their entrances. Anpo, dressed in his signature black and red attire, was accompanied by a traditional Japanese drum performance as he made his way to the ring. His focused and determined demeanor reflected his readiness for the battle ahead. The crowd cheered wildly, giving him a hero's welcome as he entered the ring. Garcia, on the other hand, made his entrance to the iconic tune of La Bamba by Richie Valens, draped in traditional Mexican attire. His infectious confidence and radiant smile were impossible to ignore as he waved to the crowd, his entourage matching his energy and hyping up the audience. When Garcia stepped into the ring and raised his arms in triumph, the roar of the crowd was deafening. The contrast between Anpo's stoic intensity and Garcia's charismatic swagger set the tone for what promised to be an exhilarating night of boxing. As the opening bell rang, the tension in the arena was palpable. Both fighters came out of their corners with focused intensity, knowing the stakes of this high-profile exhibition. Garcia, known for his blazing hand speed and impeccable timing, started the fight with measured caution. He circled the ring, his eyes locked on Anpo, searching for an opening. If standing firm with a compact guard, showcased his sharp, snapping jabs, a technique he had honed during his kickboxing days. Each jab was thrown with precision, designed not just to score, but to keep Garcia guessing. The first round played out like a tactical chess game. Both fighters moved deliberately, each trying to get a read on the other. Garcia, usually an aggressive starter, refrained from overcommitting early, instead opting to test AO's reflexes. AO, in turn, used his speed and unorthodox angles to keep Garcia at bay. The crowd roared with every exchange of punches, feeling the palpable energy that radiated from the ring. As the round came to an end, both fighters retreated to their corners, sizing each other up with newfound respect. The second round saw a shift in momentum as Garcia adjusted his strategy. He closed the distance, using his superior reach and quick reflexes to trap AO in the corner. Garcia began throwing combinations with greater intent, landing a sharp 1-2 that caught AO off guard and forced him to step back. Garcia, sensing an opportunity, pressed forward, landing a thunderous body shot that elicited gasps from the crowd. Despite the pressure, AO remained composed, responding with a series of rapid-fire counterpunches that targeted Garcia's head and body. A particularly sharp right cross grazed Garcia's jaw, momentarily halting his advance. The crowd was on the edge of their seats as the fighters exchanged heavy blows. AO found his rhythm, demonstrating why he had earned a reputation as a dangerous striker in combat sports. However, Garcia's experience began to shine through. He slipped punches and used his footwork to create angles for counterattacks. A crisp left hook to the body, followed by a sharp uppercut, left AO retreating momentarily. The crowd exploded with excitement as the arena buzzed with tension. The round ended with both fighters retreating to their corners, clearly exhausted but determined to continue the battle. As the third round began, it became clear that this was more than just a physical contest. It was a battle of wills. Garcia's punches were thrown with increased velocity, his jabs snapping AO's head back with each successful connection. AO, however, refused to be outdone. His head movement became more pronounced as he danced in and out of Garcia's range, landing crisp counters that kept Garcia honest. Despite Garcia's power punches, AO's ability to absorb punishment and return fire made him a challenging puzzle to solve. Garcia, frustrated by AO's resilience, continued to taunt his opponent. "You've got big shoes on. I'm going to knock you out," Garcia shouted. "You're wearing a stupid chain. I'm going to knock you out, bro. This isn't Hollywood. There's nothing fake about this. You're going to get knocked out and the world will see it." AO, though visibly rattled by Garcia's power, refused to show weakness. His stoic expression and calculated movements spoke volumes about his determination to stand toe-to-toe with the more seasoned boxer. As the round drew to a close, both fighters had endured brutal exchanges, but it was clear that neither man was ready to back down. The momentum shifted again in the fourth round. AO regained his footing, landing sharp counters that visibly frustrated Garcia. His ability to avoid Garcia's power punches impressed even the most skeptical observers. However, by the fifth round, Garcia began to assert his dominance. His crushing blows landed with increasing frequency, forcing AO into survival mode. AO's corner grew concerned, urging their fighter to rely on his agility to stay out of Garcia's range. Despite their warnings, Garcia's power punches proved too much for AO to handle. The seventh round marked a turning point. AO, desperate to turn the tide, launched an all-out assault, connecting with a series of combinations that momentarily stunned Garcia. The crowd was on its feet, sensing an upset in the making, but Garcia's durability and experience allowed him to weather the storm. As the final round approached, Garcia sensed that a knockout was within reach. He unleashed a relentless barrage of punches, culminating in a thunderous left hook that sent AO crashing to the canvas. The crowd erupted as the referee began the count. AO, though valiantly trying to rise, could not recover in time. The referee waved off the fight, declaring Garcia the winner by knockout. The arena exploded with cheers as Garcia celebrated his victory, climbing the ropes to salute his fans. AO, defeated but undeterred, received a standing ovation for his courage and heart. The respect between the two fighters was evident as they exchanged words in the ring, bringing an emotional close to a hard-fought battle. In the post-fight interview, Garcia reflected on his performance. "This one means everything to me," he said. "I had a lot to prove after my suspension, and tonight I showed the world what I'm capable of. It was tough, but I knew my skills would carry me through. I'm ready for whatever comes next." Despite his loss, AO remained gracious in defeat. "I gave it my all, but Garcia was the better fighter tonight," he said. "This is just the beginning for me. I'll be back stronger." As Garcia's suspension nears its end, fans are already speculating about his next move. Will he challenge the top names in the division, or will this exhibition victory mark the beginning of a new chapter in his career? One thing is certain, Ryan Garcia is back, and the boxing world will be watching his every move. With a potential matchup against Teofimo Lopez on the horizon, Garcia's future looks brighter than ever. Whether it's a challenge for a world title or a blockbuster fight against another top contender, fans can't wait to see what Garcia does next. His return to the ring has sparked a renewed sense of excitement, and the world will be watching closely to see how this new chapter in his career unfolds.